Excel functions. Team 1403 uses Excel mainly for competitions. We collect the data from the tablets from each match on each team to categorize it for picking alliances. It is an important task to understand the concepts of Excel to use it to its full potential to analyze all the data we recorded. To begin using Excel, you must know how to create your own workbook. You can create a new one or click on an existing one. To save a workbook, go to the Quick Access toolbar and click Save to ensure all your work will be there. If it is the first time you save that workbook, click Save as to name the workbook and where to save it on your computer. To print a workbook, click Print and look at the preview of the workbook, then print. You can also save the workbook as a PDF. The first function that you need to know for Excel is basic math. Formula starts with an equal sign, a number, a plus sign, and then another number. Example equals 6 plus 3. Or you can start with an equal sign, click a cell, add a plus sign, and then click another cell to add the numbers in the cells. Example equals A4 plus A5. Once you put that in, you can click Enter to get the answer. Once you change the number in the cell, the result automatically updates. When you double-click a cell, you can tell its formula, or you can click a cell and look up at the formula bar. For addition, you use plus. For subtraction, you use minus. For division, you use a slash. For multiplication, you use an asterisk. The next function in Excel is adding numbers. For formulas, it always starts with an equal sign, followed by a plus sign, and then another number. When you press Enter, it displays the results. You can also add whole cells by making a formula that starts with an equal sign. Then you select a cell, add a plus sign, and then select another cell. After pressing Enter, you get the result. If you change the value in one cell, the final value automatically changes. AutoSum makes it easy to add adjacent cells and rows and columns. You can click the empty cell at the end of a row or column and press the AutoSum button in the Home tab. It automatically finds the value for you. Clicking the cell with the final value displays the formula. A keyboard shortcut to doing this is pressing Alt and the equal key. You can also find the sum of all the rows and the columns by selecting all the cells as well as an empty cell for each total. Then press the AutoSum button and the total is calculated for each individual column/row. Using the sum function is helpful because it makes adding a large group of cells easier. In the picture, you can see the sum function equals sum parentheses b2 colon b5 end parentheses. The colon indicates that a range of cells, and in this case it would add all the numbers from the B2 cell to the B5 cell. When adding numbers down a column, select each cell independently. Hold down the Control key, it adds the comma automatically. The SUMIF function allows you to add cells that meet a criteria that you provide. This is the syntax for a SUMIF function. The range indicates the different cells that you are evaluating. The criteria is the value that you set the range to. The sum_range correspond to the range if the range meets a given criteria. If the cell does not meet a given criteria, it is omitted. In the picture, since the value in the A2 cell is less than the criteria of $160,000, it is not included in the total. A question mark and asterisk can be used as the criteria argument in this function. A question mark matches any single character. An asterisk matches any sequence of character. With numbers in Excel, you can create a chart to see a visual representation of the data. To create a chart, highlight your data and you will see a small square in the bottom right-hand corner. and click on that. Then you can click on the charts menu and it will show you many different options. There are different options of choosing charts, including clustered column, clustered bar, scatter, or line. Autofill and flash fill are useful to manipulate your data. Autofill allows you to write a series of dates without typing them all in. To use autofill, you type in the first date of the series. Then you put your mouse on the bottom right-hand corner of the box and expand the box. All the following dates will be filled in. Flash fill is similar to autofill, but it is used to automatically write out a list of names. First, you type out a list of names as shown, then you type the first name the way that you want it to be. When you start typing a second name, a list will pop up next to the remaining names. Then you can press enter to fill out the chart. The next function is freezing or locking panes. You can freeze or lock panes in order to keep certain information visible even as you scroll down the worksheet. To freeze the first column, select View, then Freeze Panes, then Freeze First Column. To freeze rows and columns, select the cell below the row and to the right of the columns you want to have frozen. Press Select View, Freeze Panes, then Freeze Panes again. To unfreeze rows and columns, select View, Freeze Panes, and then Unfreeze Panes. It is important to understand and use cell references properly when using Excel. Cells are the boxes you see in a grid of an Excel sheet. Each cell on a worksheet is identified by its reference, the column letter, and row number that intersect the location of the cell. In a cell reference, the column letter always comes first before the row number, example D5. A range of cells are multiple adjacent cells. When referring to a range of cells, say the first cell, then the last cell, example F2, then G5. The next function is sorting and filtering data. The sort state's purpose is to allow the user to reconfigure the order of information in order to better analyze the data. To do this, first highlight data or right-click on a tab and select a column. Then go to the Data tab on Excel and select the Sort function. Then select one of the sorting options. The sorting options will reflect the data that is presented. Example, if the data is cell figures, the sort function will allow you to display them in order of increasing magnitude. This filter's purpose is to focus on a specific range or a set of data. The first step is to follow steps 1 and 2 for sorting, but instead select Filter. Then select a data range by highlighting, then choose one of the options. A function that you need to know for Excel is the average of group numbers. Use it to quickly calculate the average of group numbers. The formula is equals average parentheses A1 colon A4 end parentheses. Then press enter and click on the cell to view the formula. Instead of manually typing the average formula, you can use the AutoSum tool. To do this, click on the cell underneath a column or next to a row of numbers. Click down arrow next to AutoSum in the top right of the toolbar. Then select AutoSum. You can use AutoSum to average if the cells which contain numbers are scattered as well. To do this, click on the cell that you want to display the average, then type equals average parentheses. Hold the Control key, then click and drag over the cells that contain the numbers, then press enter. This will even work if there are blanks in between the cells or text in them.